Welcome back to Off Guard. It's your host, Austin Rivers, along with my guy, Pausha Haghighi. As always, we are back in the morning time. Some trades happening, some exciting news. Or I'll call you Brock.
Oh, that's our friend. That's our other friend. That's guys. For you listening,
you guys are both in the same boat right now.
We'll talk about that later.
So I don't like the way you categorize your friends.
By default, I called you my other friend. I'm mad that he knows I'm thinking about him.
Man, listen, let me tell you something. Sometimes we do this pod and we're like, man, what should we talk about? Jonathan Kuminga or what happened here? That's not the case. Last night was one of the crazier nights in the NBA. Game winners everywhere. Trae Young gets traded finally, right? Like it's been kind of like a back and forth thing for the last few years. I think we should start with Trae. It felt like we all saw it coming, but then in the last 48 hours, it happened really fast, right? What were your first thoughts, obviously, when you saw it go down?
Well, I mean, it's tough just because I feel Trae his name's always been attached to just being a high-level, all-star. So when I saw him go for Kispert and CJ, I was kind of like, man, I thought they would get, something more, or at least like a young star. And I say that only because CJ's older. If CJ was like mid-career, right, then that would be a different story. But
it's more about his contract, right? Yeah. Expiring.
So the Wizards got off the books some money. They get a guy who's going to bring in money. I mean, Trae Young will fill seats. People in DC will probably be excited, like, I'll go see Trae play. Trae's going to be a guy who's going to have 30 points, 10 assists. Can will a team. We've obviously seen him do it. Conference finals with the Hawks a while ago. But this saga's been going on forever.
With this draft coming up, this amazing draft, do you want a guy that could raise your floor and get you into win some games? I
don't know what the plan is.
The timing was crazy, I thought. Yeah,
and the reports came out even before he was traded, saying he was pushing for DC.
You know what that is. Listen, I want to start off by saying this is a pro Trae Young podcast. If you've ever listened to us, we all think he's like a very unique talent.
But get to what it is.
With that being said, that was the only team that wanted him. So what do you do when there's only one team wanting you? What does your agent tell you? Act like you want to go there. Make it look like this is like a move that's for both sides. If there's only one girl that wants you, you're not going to be like, I guess I got to go with her. You're going to be like, you know what? She looks good tonight. Oh, it's mutual. Let's do it. Come on, man. We all know what it is. It was the only team that wanted him.
Okay.
I understand why the Hawks did it. The Hawks, obviously, they see a future without him. Jalen Johnson's their star. They have other parts, Dyson Daniels, this and that. Nikhil Alexander-Walker is really, really good, so it makes the need for Trae not there. And then when Trae came back, they lost a lot of games without him. They're going to go defense forward for the future now. But you do think that Trae Young should be able to get picks. Desmond Bane just went for 4 picks. You know what I mean? A guy like Trae Young should be able to get picks.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, that's a perfect example. Desmond Bane got 4 picks with him.
Right.
I'm talking about Trae Young, man. This guy's like how many All-Star games has he made?
He's made at least, we can ask our producer.
4 or 5?
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about here? This is a guy who averages 25 plus, 10 plus. I mean, he's one of the best statistical I was about to say rappers. But,
lyrical rappers. Statistical players.
In the league.
Yeah.
And he's been that his whole career. Right. So, for me, it's kind of, I don't know. It's just odd. Like, and Kispert's a good player. Can shoot, but, doesn't really move the needle for me. And then, CJ's a good player, but he's got, 3 years left of, high-level ball at least. You know what I mean? He's in his late 30s, been in the league for, as long as I have. I think he came in the year after me. He's been in the league for at least 13 years, I want to say. So, it's what are we talking about here? For Trae Young? Trae Young's mid-20s, late 20s?
He's 27. And
yeah, so he's got
you never see a guy entering his prime get traded.
That's what I'm saying. For no picks? Atlanta, we could have got 2 picks.
You know what's really weird? Obviously,
so
him and Luka getting traded for each other, and him and Luka, same draft, that whole thing. Both of them being this hub of an offense for both of their franchises, taking their franchises deep into the playoffs. Both of them got traded for no picks. And it's just really weird. You know what I mean?
They're both. One obviously was a notoriously bad trade that got Buddy fired. Nico. But the Atlanta front office, they've done a great job building their roster. So I can't complain about anything. If I have Trae Young, I got to get picks with that. Okay, he's a perennial all-star. Desmond Bane got 4 picks. So I understand you got C.J. McCollum, but C.J. McCollum has like 2-3 years left of good basketball. Kisper's an average player. How are we getting just these two for a 5-time, 4-time all-star? I just don't understand. So this tells me either A, this is a bad trade, or B, his value is not as high as what me and you think. And because there's no way that Horford weren't shopping him around everywhere and we're getting picks on every trade and then decided to go with this one.
Well,
Clearly,
so CJ, obviously, like I said, the CJ thing is an expiring deal. Now they can go get, they're going to have a lot of cap space. So
that's true.
Trae Young could have opted in this summer for 40-something million, and he's definitely going to do that, right? Like, that's a lot of money. He's not going to get that in the market. So Trae Young's going to opt in next year for that much money. If you're the Wizards, you're like, okay, well, CJ was expiring. You could have had some cap space. Now you have Trae Young, who's definitely going to opt in next year. So now you have another guy on the books. On the Hawks side of things, you're basically like, let's just get this guy out of here, right? That's what that move is.
I think it was something that ended in a way that, listen, anytime you know your team is moving you, it can only end in a one way. Even if it's like a positive vibe, it's not positive. You know what I mean? So it had to come to an end. It's like when Clay was getting traded and then he got traded, people were just like, it didn't end well. Now his time there was legendary, but it's not a good feeling to be shopped. It's
right.
Someone saying they don't want you anymore, or they think they can get better without you, or going in a different direction without you. It's not fun. I've been there. So, it's one of those things that's been lingering for years. His name has been attached to the trade rumors how long has it been going on for?
So maybe that's why the Hawks were like, we don't want to go into another summer.
Yeah, and
with all these rumors.
I think Jalen Johnson prompted this trade to happen quicker than people probably expected.
Right.
His play has just continued to climb. I think people knew he had scoring ability. I don't think people knew he could dominate a game in a variety of ways. He's having triple doubles. He has multiple games where even if it's not triple double, he has high assist and higher rebound numbers. He defends. Teammates like playing with him. He's obviously electric in the air. There's a lot of things that he brings. And then you see Nickeil Alexander have a career year, and then some of these other guys start to come along. You're like, okay, wait. Obviously, Dyson Daniels was a steal trade from New Orleans a year ago. Atlanta's now put themselves in a situation like, hey, we're a pretty damn good team. We're winning games without Trae, which is the other thing that was happening. Trae would get hurt or would sit out, and the Hawks would win. Then he'd come back, and it was like a weird dynamic. It's just one of those things where it's just time. You know what I mean? So this isn't as a surprise as the Luka trade caught everybody off guard. People thought Luka was going to die a Maverick. Yeah. We saw Dirk Nowitzki in him. Like, this guy's going to be here for 20 years because he has that type of gravity. He's that good. This one, although Trae's a fantastic player, big fan of his game, it got to a point where, like, bro, his name was in the rumors for like 2-3 years straight. Right. So it had to happen, and I think just with the growth and just the surge of this young team proving that they could win some games, I think they're like, okay, now's the time. Let's just get off of them. We obviously get some cap space. C.J. McCollum's a guy who can help us now. The East is wide open. So we get another guy in here that, like, we go to the playoffs, which the Hawks will be in the playoffs. They got a guy like C.J. McCollum on their team. This guy just had like 30. I just watched him the other night score 40 on somebody. So, like, we get that. And then Kisper's a guy who can spread the floor. So, like, they did get better. So I get it. I'm just confused by the lack of picks. But I guess the value there is, I don't know, man.
Yeah, and also, so the Hawks are getting the Pelicans' unprotected pick this year in the Derek Queen trade. So they have that coming. My thing for the Hawks is that now I'm seeing them. They might go for like Anthony Davis or something. I just totally disagree with that move. You have all these young players. You got rid of Trae. You're building from the ground up with your young talent that you drafted. Don't go do that. Don't go get like the Anthony Davis that they're linked to or anybody else. If it's Giannis or something, okay. Like, I totally understand that. The Hawks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like if it's Giannis or something, sure. But, like, don't go dangle that Pelicans pick that they have next year coming their way. Don't do it for Anthony Davis. Like, keep building it like that. That would be a weird move. Like I said, if it's for Giannis, that's a different story.
Giannis would.
Anyone we get the whole Giannis is like anywhere. The Thunder have been losing lately. I'm like, man, maybe I should go trade for Giannis. Like, they have the pieces.
That's another thing we'll touch upon.
Yeah. On the Wizards side of things,
I don't know.
So this is what I was thinking.
Yeah, go ahead, crack the code.
Okay. Trae Young, a lot of these guys, Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, all these guys have been developing around Trae Young. Do you think that now the Wizards guys, their young players, Alex Sarr, Trey Johnson, all these guys, now they're thinking Trae Young could be the table setter for those guys to develop in a natural way and maybe bring their assets up? Or like, or is it strictly like, hey man, our franchise has been in the dump for a while. Let's bring in Trae Young, and it's like now we're something. He's a name, like you said, Phil.
Yeah, I think they've just been bad for a while. They don't really have a direction. They're like, hey, we can get off these guys and get a Trae Young. This guy can help us win some ball games. You know, we're not going to the playoffs. We can fill some seats.
Right.
I think from a business standpoint, it makes sense. I think because he's obviously people come to see Trae Young. I'm not saying they're going to sell out arenas, but Trae Young plays for the team that attendance should get higher. People will be like, I'll go check out Trae. Especially when he drops 35, 15, and 10 and they win. People are like, I can go watch this guy like manipulate a game. He's kind of fun to watch. So that's that. And then he can make a team that's not as good look good. Just with how he's able to dominate the game with the ball in his hands, this is going to be a team where we know Trae likes to play with the ball in his hands all game. He's going to have it all game. Right. You know what I mean? So he's going to get.
Wouldn't he get like Alex Sarr or like Trey Johnson's like these guys like lives a lot easier? Like he's gonna get
absolutely, they're going to get way better shots. And again, you know, it's tough because it's tricky, man. You hear so much bullshit with Trae that you don't know what's true, what's not true. I know him personally. He's a nice guy. Now, I'm not friends with him or anything like that, but I've met him, obviously competed against him for years. I have nothing negative to say about him. I know teammates who loved him, and I know teammates who couldn't stand playing with him. And I'm talking about now specifically basketball. I don't get into the off-the-court stuff. I don't know anything about him that's negative. On the court, you hear 50-50. Like, so your response is like, ain't he going to make these guys' lives easier? People in the Hawks were like, yo, I can't stand playing. You know, a lot of these guys are like, bro, he's got to go. So it's like you hear these things and it's like confusing because then I've seen him, like you just said, like with the Kevin Huerter and the Bogdanovich team. Like he took that team to the conference finals, bro. Like he made everyone look really good.
John Collins was their second best player.
And
think about that.
And his value at that time was extremely high. Like John Collins now is, you know, if he was a free agent this summer, he'd be lucky to get, you know, I don't. Especially with how the Clippers are playing, he'd probably get a few million. You know what I mean? Like John Collins at that time was a $25 million player a year. You know what I mean? That's a Trae Young effect. You know what I mean? Like Chris Paul did that for many bigs. You had DeAndre Jordan before Chris Paul, and you have DeAndre Jordan with Chris Paul. You have DeAndre Jordan after Chris Paul.
That's what I'm saying.
And there's a difference.
So I have a question, Austin. If you're running the Wizards and you have all your draft picks,
Tyson Chandler and David West look pretty damn good with Chris Paul.
All these draft picks the Wizards have had, just running up and down, kind of aimlessly, losing games, or now you have Trae Young bringing the ball up. Now these guys can actually play their right role and develop naturally in a different way.
I view floor generals like Trae, like Chris Paul. I view them coach players. And just like a coach, some players will benefit from a coach rocking out with you. And there's going to be some players who don't fuck with the coach because they don't get enough playing time. There's going to be some players that are perfect for a guy like Chris Paul or Trae, a David West, a Tyson Chandler, a John Collins, a Bogdanovich. Some of these guys, and they'll get big contracts because of it, right? Then there are going to be some people who like Trae just doesn't find or they don't mesh well with him. And they're going to be like, man, I hate playing with Trae. And it's that's why it's a 50-50. I've heard guys, I don't like playing with Chris Paul. I was like, really? Yeah. I love playing with Chris Paul. So it just some guys it just works with, some guys it doesn't, and it's tough because those guys do have the ball in their hands all game. So you got to hope that you got to make it work. It's like going to Nikola Jokic's team and be like, man, I don't play well, Nikola. Well, then you should probably go to a different team because it's his team. So if you play with Trae, if you play with Chris Paul, you got to figure out how to make it work with them. You play with James Harden, you got to make it work.
Right.
Those guys have the ball in their hands all game. It's not easy. It's not the Pacers where Halliburton, the ball's popping and everyone's driving and kicking and moving and everyone's scoring and everyone's happy. When you play with a ball-dominant guard, you got to, bro, it's not for everybody, all right? So it takes high IQ and it takes patience and it takes an understanding that every night might not be your night. And some nights I'm going to have 20 with James and some nights I'm going to have 4 points with James and be mad. But I can't let it bother me because that's just the way it is.
Right.
You can't be mad at your number 3 seed in the East or, you know, however many times Trae's led them to the playoffs. Don't take all the benefits from carrying you to the playoffs for years and be like, you don't pass me the ball enough. Well, if they did pass you the ball enough, you guys probably wouldn't be in the playoffs.
Well, that's the thing I was going to say is if you're not agreeing with the way Trae's playing, it's kind of like, well, you guys were basement dwellers for how long? So, like, your way wasn't working. So if Trae gets you to the play-in like he does every single year for any team he's on, like, that's what I'm saying. I agree with what you're saying. I saw this online, so I think you'd agree with this. They compared the situation to when the Rockets traded Chris Paul to the Thunder, kind of thinking like, this is nothing's going on over there, go. That's a good way for for Trae to see that and be like, I could do that. Your trade value's down. They left Chris Paul to to die in Oklahoma City, and instead he made everyone else Shea, Dennis Schroeder, that team better, brought him to the playoffs.
He did.
So Trae could do that's something to look forward to. Like that's something
Trae will make them much more competitive than what they are because he just knows how to like manipulate a game at a level where he can just steal games. Like Trae can do that. Right. So like for the Wizards standpoint, like looking around, like man, we don't really have a lot going on. We got some excitement with some of these young guys. Let's bring Trae in. Fuck it. Especially, it's not like they have this star point guard there. So he's like, they have other positions they believe in. So they're like, fuck, bring in Trae Young. They're taking CJ and Kispert, and we get Trae Young.
Right.
We'll do it. And the owner will be happy. The owner's going to make some money on this.
Yeah. And if Trae doesn't sign long-term over there, they didn't give up any picks or anything for him anyway.
They
don't really care.
He will, because they're going to pay him, especially if it goes well. So he's going to want this to work, which is...
But dude, they don't want it to go well this year because I think they need that. They have a top 8 protected...
It's already... Bro, they're not going to like have a major turnaround here.
It's
like, but they'll win some more games, though.
Yeah.
They are going to win more games.
Well, CJ was making them win games anyways recently,
Yeah,
so.
for real. Yeah.
Yeah. Another one person I wanted to use an example as, the guy that we bring up on the pod a lot. So Trae's trade value is low right now, right? So was Michael Porter Jr.'s this summer. And people were off him, and they looked at him in a different way. You could go to a team, the Nets have nothing going on, like the Wizards, right? I watched Michael Porter Jr. last time have 8 threes, and he's just automatic. He's been killing lately. And now everyone's like, we should trade for him, and everyone's view and perception of him is completely different than a few months ago. Trae could do the same thing. Trae could go to the Wizards, and all of a sudden, in a year from now, we're like, everyone wants Trae. The Rockets are a team that need a point guard, right? Like things
Isn't
like that.
Isn't it funny what happens is you put that ball in the basket?
Yeah.
When you put the ball in the basket, people start to just like come around to you.
Yeah.
He's not a bad guy. He was on a Michael Porter Jr. going into this season. People were like, "Oh man, this guy, he doesn't pass. That's why the Nuggets got rid of him. The Nuggets want to get better." Blah 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 blah. You know, he thinks he could be a 20-point per game scorer. He doesn't have that ability. His back, his injury, all this nonsense. He was on a podcast run saying all type of shit. Yeah. Every day I would get on my Instagram and I'd be like, what the hell? Michael's saying something.
But Coach Adelman goes, we missed that guy in the locker room last year. He's talking about the numbers.
So what happens is like during that run, it was a lot of negative attention. Not really. I mean, he was getting great attention from a business standpoint. I'm sure his podcast is doing very well. But the negativity that surrounded it towards the NBA, because the NBA likes clean. They don't like messy.
Right.
So does the NFL. These are billion-dollar brands, businesses. They don't want the bullshit in the locker room. They don't want anything outside of basketball. It's called a distraction. So that's why the Nets, early this season, nipped that shit in the bud. Remember? They said Michael's going to slow down on the podcast, just so y'all know. Remember, Michael was like, all right, I'm going to chill out. So, because you got it easy. What he did, the best thing he did is respond by putting up numbers and hoop. Obviously, the Nets aren't a great team. They're not going to win a lot of games. But they've beaten teams just off the pure fact he's gotten 25, 30 or more.
They've beaten good teams.
Yes, They've gone into Boston and stole wins.
I think the Nets need to trade him immediately. Yeah, they can't. He keeps winning. The value's never been higher.
Proven people wrong.
Yeah.
Most importantly, not his points per game. Not that he's averaging, 24, 25 plus points per game. That's not where he most is proving people wrong. He's proving wrong with his durability. What people said he wouldn't do. He plays just about every night. He played just about every game last year. So the whole injury shit with him has gone out the way. This guy's had multiple seasons in a row where he's playing 65 plus games a year. And he's averaging now 25 points per game. But, he must be shooting just a lot, shooting bad numbers. No, he's almost 90, 50, 40, 90. His numbers are fucking silly.
Also, I watched him last night against the Magic. Every shot I thought was going in. He either made it or it rimmed out barely.
Don't even hit the rim. He just drops those little rainbows and you bloop.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, he is a tough shot taker, but he is a tough shot maker. On a good team, Michael knows to make an extra pass. On a team like this in Brooklyn, he's inclined to shoot a little bit better. He doesn't have KCP or Jamal Murray wide open next to him, and he's like still shooting. There's a reason why they won a championship, and he was a key part of that, guys. He knows how to play basketball. Now, we do know Michael likes to score, and now he's on a team where he gets to do that, so he's happy. But his value has skyrocketed because without all the bullshit that happened, people forgot all about that. You want to know why? You know what he does now? He hoops. And people have now gotten to look back and see some of his quotes and comments on that podcast run and have like a full picture of who Michael is and understand he don't mean any harm. Like, this is a good dude. He speaks his heart. He speaks his truth, whether people like it or not. And that's how he feels. And there's a beauty in that. Like, that's what you said. Coach Adelman the other night for the Nuggets was like, I miss having those talks with Michael. Like, Michael's a great guy.
Right.
If you don't think they could use Michael Porter Jr., right now they absolutely could. And I love Cam Johnson, but he hasn't even been 1/10 the player Michael is. People are like, man, even me, I was like, man, they might have got an upgrade. Cam Johnson could shoot and score like Michael, and he's younger. Psych. Michael's 5 times better than that dude, bro. And I have no problem against Cam Johnson. He's good. He's just not Michael Porter Jr. good.
So the way Michael Porter Jr. approached his tenure with the Nets so far, what do you want to see out of Trae with Washington? Do you want it to be the same thing where the ball's rolled out and he has the ball in his hands the whole time? Do you want to see him kind of more of like a team guy, bringing people around so he could change that perception that he's like ball in his hands the whole time?
No, I don't want him to change.
What do you want to see?
I don't want him to change any perception. I want him to double down. I want the razzle dazzle.
You want the dice rolling in the
I want him rolling the dice at midcourt. What are you talking about? Be who you are.
Yeah.
Be who you are.
But listen, if the development of the younger guys around him is also getting higher, and
it will get higher because he's going to ball out. If he balls out, that means their team starts winning games. The guys are going to have big games with him to compete. It's just going to happen naturally. Now, what happens with Trae is if these young guys continue to get good, then it gets to a point where like, all right, thanks, man. We're ready to take it from here. You can move on now. It's kind of what happens. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Kyrie, they brought Kyrie to that Celtics team because they had that young talent with Tatum and Rozier and all these guys. And we're like, we're going to bring you in, Jaylen Brown. Kyrie, you're going to be our guy. We need you to develop. Then Kyrie kind of got hurt. Next thing you know, these young guys start hooping. And they're like, well, we don't really need Kyrie. We're going to do without you. Remember, that's what happened. It just happens. So it's just, that's what happened just right in Atlanta. We're going to keep Trae. They start competing in games. Jalen Johnson starts playing good. This guy starts playing good. Then this guy. Then we get Dyson Daniels. Oh, damn, this guy's good. Nikhil's good. Next thing you know, this year they're looking around, then you miss a couple games. They win those games. What do you think that starts happening? People start being like, I don't think we need him. So that's, the problem. But the good news is, Trae, you get to continue to play your way, and you'll be a mercenary for hire. He's gonna get, and you'll get paid top dollar for it.
Are you upset that, or like disappointed that he didn't go to a team like the Rockets or someone else that's competing? Where we can see him be more of a Steve Nash than like a James Harden.
I would love to see him in a competitive environment
where he would like change his game. And
I would like to see that challenge. I haven't seen it. You've been in Atlanta your whole career and had the ball rolled out to you and just got to do whatever you want. You've had a green light your entire career. You're about to go to DC where it's even more. The light is neon, glow in the dark green in DC. I don't even want to know the fuckery these guys. I saw what Jordan Poole did there. So I don't even want to know what a Trae Young going to do there. Yeah. He might try to kick it in from half court. He's going to be doing all type of shit. His numbers, he's going to have games, guys. He might have like a 20 and 10. Like he's going to have some nutty shit over there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would like to see him simplify his game, tighten up his game, make it more tactical in a competitive environment. Playing next to other players that hold you accountable. You got to be their weak side. You got to play defense. You have to make the extra pass. You have to be off the ball quick. You have to make quick decisions. Like a prolific,
like if he was in the Rockets, he'd have
play
a game
guard
where he'd have like 12 points but 15 assists.
15 assists.
That's the kind of games that we don't get to see from him because he has to do so much on offense.
And I think he's good enough to do that because he's just obviously, right. I think he could do that. He just never had, and I think if he did, his value would be through the roof because then people would be like, oh shit, this guy can. We know he can put up numbers, but this guy can go to a team and be option 2, option 3, and have like average 18, 9, and 7. Right. I don't know why I keep putting in the rebounds.
Trae's rebounds.
It's like Trae, like
he's not Westbrook.
I keep giving it. Yeah, I keep throwing in like the extra one. I keep like 30, 10, and 9. I'm like, is Trae Young good on there stacking boards?
Never.
Oh shit.
I have a question for you. 15, 20 years ago, a guy that averages like 27 and 13, that makes big shots for your team, entering his prime would never just get traded for pretty much nothing. What does that say? Has the game changed so much that guys like that kind of player, and we don't have to name names, but guys that play like Trae with the balls, they have the balls, heliocentric offense, is the game just kind of past guys like that? Like we always talk about the OKC Pacers finals. It's just different now the way basketball is played, and the teams that win don't have guys that just hold the ball.
Well, for as much as people complain about our game and the evolution of it, they should be very excited that it's trending back towards ball movement.
Yeah.
Yes, we have prolific scorers, but like the Thunder move the ball around. The Pacers move the ball around. The Spurs move the ball around. All the really good teams, the Rockets move the ball around. All these really good teams that are playing at a high level right now, that ball is popping. We know the Nuggets.
Right.
Nuggets are one of the top assist teams in the league. Like, so these teams move the ball.
Well, Austin, I mean, you tell me from your experience, it's harder to guard a team that's moving the ball and whipping it around than a guy that's just
I'm saying at one point we had a really like, there was a an era of like just point guards having the ball in their hands all game, where you saw these nutty numbers from point guards.
Yeah.
It was like Luka's putting up crazy numbers. Trae's putting up crazy numbers. Even a couple of years ago when Westbrook was still starting, was putting up crazy numbers. De'Aaron Fox is putting up crazy numbers. Jamal Murray's putting up. Every point guard just had their ball in their hands the whole game, bro.
Well, could you compare?
Because remember, it's just like 3-and-D guy, point guard. It's like that's what like the height of 3-and-D was like, bro. 3-and-D the past like 6-7 years has been like the position to get paid.
Right.
Now it's like athletes, it's everything. I mean, you got to have game, but everyone's adding things to the game. You got to be able to now put the ball on the floor a little bit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's only a few Duncan Robinsons. Now everyone has to be able to like, you have to be Wiggins. Wiggins can 3-and-D, but now Wiggins got some shit on OKC. Like, you got to be able to do something there.
Yeah.
So everyone's driving. People saw the Pacers, the Thunder, all these teams, copycat league. That it's not what, you saw the Warriors dominate. They saw 3-point shooting and let's get defense. You know what I mean? And that's just what you do. So it's just like, but now the way the game is evolving, guys are putting the ball on the floor. The best teams in the league right now are centered around unity. Even if they have an MVP, bro, they have like, how many guys average over double digits or near, or are capable for going a 20-point night there? 9 guys in the team could have 20 on that team. So we're actually entering, for people like old heads who like don't like our game, we're entering an era of the ball popping a little bit now. Instead of it working around the fucking 3-point line for 20 seconds, then you get a 2-pointer in the 90s. It's doing that. We're getting dunks and threes, which is why the score is 135 to 130 versus 78 to 76. Respectfully, I'd rather choose the way we play now. So,
could you compare the ball movement in the style of play from like the way it was when you were on the Clippers and when you were on the Rockets with James Harden? And which team do you think would have been easier to defend? The way those teams played their offense.
Which team between
your Clippers team with the Lob City and like the James Harden Rockets teams that you were
with
on?
Chris?
Yeah. So like
the James Harden Rockets team with Chris was a better team.
Yeah.
Than my Clippers team.
But ball movement wise, like how
ball
was it
movement,
different?
the Clippers was better.
Yeah.
You had the pick and roll with Blake, and there's so much gravity that caused him just rolling. People were petrified of Blake dunking on them. There was at one point where every game Blake would have a dunk, bro, where it looked like he'd break his hand or the rim. This is how hard he was. He was one of the most powerful. He is our modern day Sean Camp, is Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
And people were scared of him in terms of jumping with him. And to be completely honest, when Blake was at his best, there was only a few guys in the league that really kind of like f***ed with him. Meaning like guys that could kind of guard him a little bit. Or like Zach Randolph, for whatever reason.
I know some legendary matchups with the Clippers and Grizzlies.
Zebo used to go at Blake.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Blake didn't do his thing, but that was a matchup that he was like, damn. I used to see that one. I was like, man, that guy's him and Blake going at it. So you'd only see, a couple there. Because this is kind of before, AD really rose, even though AD was good too. But Blake used to do his thing, man. He was at the top. So when he would roll, the weak side would have to be there early so he doesn't get ahead of steam. And because of that, you had JJ, Jamal, myself, Matt Barnes. We were all just open, bro. So, like, the ball was popping on that team. And with JJ running around, there's so much movement on our team. We had to have, when you have a JJ on your team, your offense has to be centered around him a lot because he can only score if you help him score. I couldn't pass to JJ and be like, JJ, go score. He can't score in the NBA like that. College he could, but not in the NBA. You had to go f***ing set a screen for that f***er. But if he got an inch of room, it was cash. You know what I'm saying? So it's like with him running around and screens being set and Blake diving and DJ rolling, like, bro, I was just out there lost. You could just get a shot. I love playing there. Ball movement was great. Which team was better? The team with Chris and James was better. James was just better than everyone between both teams at that time. And with Chris playing still in his prime with him, we had both of them manipulating it. Right. The only team that was capable of beating us was that Warriors team. If Kevin Durant doesn't go to that Warriors team, we got a ring, bro. I have a ring.
You'd have a legendary finals matchup with LeBron and
and we beat them. We played them earlier that year and beat them. And it's tough for me to say this because I'm a role player. So it's like, I know like people are like, why is he saying it? Well, the team I played for was better than them. So that's why I'm saying it. And when we played them, we beat them.
Yeah.
And I thought we were better than them, period. I thought James at that time, bro, that offense with D'Antoni, the way we were scoring the ball, man, we f***ed up when we traded Chris. And we f***ed up when we traded prime Clint Capella for Covington. And that has nothing to do with no disrespect to Covington and no disrespect to Russie. I love Russ. He just doesn't play. I don't think he played well with James. I don't think they meshed well. We were able to be dominant in some capacity because Russell and James are just that good of players. But I thought the combination and mixture with the shooting of Chris was better. Ego has always been the death of my ring hopes. It happened in Houston when I saw it at the top, and it damn sure happened in LA on all sides, every side, coaching, the players. I saw it.
And then in Denver, Jamal being injured was the other. Because that was a good shot
brother,
for you to get
the
one.
year I left,
yeah,
they won. People are like, man, they left. They won when you weren't there. They got better. I said, no, Jamal Murray got healthy. That has a little bit to do with like what happened.
Right.
Like, what are we talking about?
Of course.
Once he came back, they won the championship.
You're talking about that time period. I just saw a podcast with Kevin Love recently where they were talking about that 2016 to 18 range where the Cavs and Warriors were meeting in the finals. And he said, rewatching those games, it seemed like that was like kind of like peak basketball. Like if you go watch some of how loaded those teams were,
that probably
and the way they were playing.
Yeah, those teams were both so deep. They played a good style of basketball, which is like a good combination of 3-point shooting, but still mids. It wasn't like as extreme as it is today.
Yeah.
You had the athletes, you had the names, you had the
and
stars.
At the top you had KD, Steph, LeBron, Kyrie.
Yeah, just the mega stars.
Yeah.
Who all are just like hoopers and fun to watch. LeBron's obviously just so dominant and fun to watch with his power. Kevin's his ability to score, the shooting of Clay and Steph, the moves of Kyrie. You had everything. Kevin Love's full court passes and rebounds and big shots. You had good vets. Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston. The other side, you had Richard Jefferson. But we're talking like full of J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert. Like these are all every guy.
I feel like this is the way that people talked about the 80s with Lakers, Celtics.
No, but I'm saying,
these teams were just so good and talented.
I just named 20 players.
Yeah.
Those guys are all hoopers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, damn. You know, that's some high level basketball. So that probably is peak finals championship. We haven't had a championship like that since. We just haven't. Now, in terms of excitement, last year's playoffs was some pretty damn good games. I enjoyed watching those games.
Right.
And Game 7 was on its way to be a classic before tragedy. So, but in terms of star power and just delivering a Game 7 moment like that, Kyrie hits the shot. Bro, we haven't had a finals. That's one of the best finals in modern day history is the Warriors Cavs.
Do you like it better when it's the same two teams kind of competing a lot and you see these dynasties like that? Or do you like it better like the last 6 years where new teams in the finals every year?
I like it open like this. It just it looks like it's harder to win now. If a team could just get so good and just dominate like that, that means it says something kind of about where the league's at.
Right now, every year we talk about the Nuggets are a dynasty, then they lose. Then it's the Celtics.
Bro.
Now it's the Thunder.
Every year,
the Thunder. That's perfect segue. The Thunder,
bro.
What are they 7-6 in their last 13?
Everybody's getting caught.
They needed a shot from Shea at home against the Jazz just to go in overtime and win. I want to talk about them. Would you hit the panic button at all?
No, no, man.
Because
It's called winner's fatigue.
A lot of teams are leaving like Alex Caruso and Lou Dort open, and they're missing shots, and it looks like that's when they lose games, right? When they're not making open shots. That's like the recipe now to beat them. Would you even think to move one of those guys?
People have. I like Caruso, but at one point his value was just like people like Caruso's just. I'm like he good.
Yeah.
He makes defensive plays and he's athletic. And he's played on winning teams. And
when he was guarding Jokic in Game 7.
No. He can play. Whoa. He's a good defender. He's a very good defender, okay? And he's a crafty offensive player in his own right. I say crafty, not with the ball in his hands, but he just makes some plays. And 4 or 5 years ago, he's a hell of an athlete.
Yeah.
So that was his gifts. Where he's at now, he's still a good player, obviously, and so is Dort, but no reason to hit the panic button, man. Those guys are fine. They'll hit shots.
When I'm watching these games, they lose, especially against the Spurs. It looks like those guys are missing open shots. Jalen Williams isn't Jalen Williams yet right now. I think he's averaging 18 points a game. So it looks like Shea's just having to do a lot versus obviously the last couple of years where it's been more free flowing, right? So that's when they're losing. You don't make any tweaks at all. You're just letting this ride.
No, yeah, I'm good. I'm good with the team.
Yeah.
I'm good with their team.
Yeah. And you're not worried about Jalen Williams whatsoever, right?
What is this weird? Is weird year?
Well, slow start.
They come out to 24-1 without him. All right, it's just a weird thing. Paulo went through the same thing with the Magic. It happens with guys. Tatum's gonna have to deal with some of this too, like just coming back. You know, like he sees Jaylen Brown play well. There's a difference between him playing well and being like first team All NBA. Is he the best player on the team? I don't. It's just
Jaylen
weird.
Brown's gonna get MVP votes. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's
So like,
crazy.
Tatum's gonna have to like figure that out when he gets back.
Yeah.
It's gonna be weird for a little bit. It just takes time. Like
Right.
it's one thing to be injured and already have to like figure yourself out, get your body back. I think people underestimate like what surgery does to people and like how it takes time for a guy to like really feel like themselves again, from a physical standpoint and a mental standpoint. Then you add to the fact that your team went 24-1 without you. So it's just like, and it was a thing that you couldn't say the 24-1 without the Jalen part. People would be like, bro, they're 24-1 and they don't even have Jalen.
Yeah.
They're 24-1 and Jalen's not playing. It was like a thing.
There was one post game thing where he was like, "I'm still on the team."
Yeah, remember? And he's like, I'm still on the team, and everyone's just laughing. Like, so that's it's real.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And I know he laughs about it and jokes about it.
Yeah.
But like, it is real. So that's an added factor. Sometimes less is more, and when you don't have as many chefs in the kitchen, there's simplicity there. So like, teams will play better in the short term. In the playoffs, they're gonna need Jalen Williams, and they're not gonna win again without him. So.
Yeah.
It's just part of like the ups and downs of the season. Because the NBA seasons are so long, 82 games, it allows for every team to have the up and down saga. You just can't have a perfect year. It doesn't happen.
Because even when you do like the Warriors 73-9, it ended bad.
Then it ended bad because like the
Right.
pressure's there.
That's when you have your slump.
There's
You know what I mean? Like, you'd rather have it
exactly.
in January.
They peaked and then they went to the playoffs and they had so much pressure where they had to win because they broke the
They
record.
went 7 games against the Thunder and then obviously 7 games against the Cavs.
So it's just like, there's always going to be a trial and tribulation for every team. Everyone's different. Some are more drastic than others,
Right.
but there's just too much time. It's a half a year season, 82 games. There's going to be months where a guy's playing like, man, we love him. There's going to be months where like, we got to get rid of him. It's just how it works. Just how people wake up every day and go to work and like some days you feel better than others? It's no different than guys playing basketball.
Yeah.
And what can happen is a guy can have something going on in his life or just having a bad week, and then he plays bad, and then the coach says something to him, and because he's having a bad week, he says something back to the coach that's bad. So now they're feuding. So now there's a problem. Just like that, it happens. Just that quickly. And then you add millions of dollars in egos into it, so add a little gasoline on it. It happens quickly in sports. So people start, it just is such a long season, man. You know what I mean? So it's like.
But that Hornets game at OKC where they win by 20+ points, that was the most shocking result so far of the season. I watched a lot of that game. That I thought that's like, okay, we're not losing to the Spurs now and Wemby and we get all that, right? Like, this is the Hornets, which by the way, on the Hornets side of things, you're like Brandon Miller and Con. Like, the Hornets that we've been talking about, like I saw the vision during that game. I'm like, and LaMelo didn't even play that great. It was more like Con and Brandon Miller. So on the Hornets side of things, that's an awesome win. But yeah, that was really weird. Like, losing by 20 at home to the Hornets to me is like.
I just think when you win, first off, every game they get everyone's best shot. Okay, they get everyone's best shot. So
you're not going out to eat or going out to drink the night before you're playing the Thunder.
there's
right?
no game. No,
Yeah,
every game they play, the team is in bed by 10 the night before.
Yeah,
because like, yo, we got OKC tomorrow. We're going at them. It's on national. Every game is nationally televised. Every game is Shay's. It's just a 30-point streak. It's just so much is going on with them, right? And the expectation. Then they come out 24-1. At one point, people were making memes like, oh, this isn't fair. This team's too good. The pressure and expectation for this team is so fucking high. Then you have podcasts like us and everybody in the world. This team's going to win 5 years straight. Ain't nobody could beat them. They're the best team in modern day. This has a chance to be the best dynasty. I said these things too.
Didn't Jalen Williams said, though, that they would beat the 96 Bulls or something,
Yes.
or 2017 Warriors?
He's
something.
like
So-
respectfully, whatever how he talks. But like all those dudes,
Yeah.
they walk a certain way and they move a certain way and they're fashion this and all that. I'm just telling you, okay? There's a lot going on with that team. And I'm saying it's even within, but you'd be surprised at how some of these role players move. Like Lou Dort walks in and is in like all leather and is doing like a full photo shoot by like his Lambo, just like he's a defensive guy. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys is all feeling themselves over there and they all getting paid well.
Yeah.
So listen, like it's gonna come in flows.
Yeah.
If I'm a Thunder fan, I'm not having any worries. All right? They're the number 1 seed in the West. Oh, no. They're not more number 1 seed of the West is the problem right now. You guys are mad that like they're getting a little winner's fatigue. Bro, Jalen Williams said the other day when they lost this is the best example I could say, from the in-cup tournament, in-season tournament. When they lost, he was like, well, the lights were bright. The reporter was like, it's just like a lot, big moment. You guys feel like sometimes you just get the best of you. He chuckled and goes, No, I played in the finals. I don't think there's a bigger stage than that.
Right.
So that comment tells you how they didn't even. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you feel like that, you think like that, some nights guys are going to get the best of you. It's just what happens when you're at the top. All right. And not to mention, they do have the best record in the league. What's going to happen is they're going to get to the playoffs and it's game time. And now it's serious. And now it's more f***ups. And all right, guys, you ready to go now? Season's over. It's boring. Bro, when you're a playoff team, you like just can't. You just want the season to get the over with. And you just want the playoffs to start. It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, we're already better than most. All right, let's go do this so we can be a top 2 or 3 seed, and then let's get.
And
to
they've been the 1 seed the last 2 years already.
Yeah, they're like let's get to it. So
Yeah.
you think right now, what do they see? Number 1 seed right now. So it's like they've lost some games. They're over there just like, oh my god, look how people are. I guarantee you, the Thunder guys are in the locker room like, look how these is tripping.
Yeah.
We lose a couple. Look how these guys talk. It's only a compliment to how dominant they've been. Is
For
that
sure.
what they have a bad few weeks and everyone's like, what's going on? It's like, bro, they've won. They've been the number 1 seed 2 years in a row. They've been mollywhopping everybody. They surprise lost to Dallas the year before. They had the number 1 record that year. Then they come back and do it again. Then they don't win. They marched through the playoffs last year. They marched. The only resistance they even had was, quite frankly, a little bit of Denver and Indiana. That's it. So this team right now is 40 games in the season, damn near halfway through the season.
Yeah.
But they're just like, yeah, we're the number 1 seed already. We're just trying to get to our destination. That's the playoffs again.
Yeah.
And then this whole conversation will die out. I would not hit the
their
panic
biggest
button.
threat in the
They have
West.
picks too. What do they need to worry about?
Their biggest threat in the West would be the Nuggets, like you always say.
That is their
Jokic
biggest
being
threat.
out and them just beating Philly and Boston this week without him. Are you one of those guys that thinks like this is really good for the Nuggets? That Jokic is out and they're still winning without him, and then when he comes back, everyone just has confidence.
I think a lot of times, good things can come from your best player just missing a healthy amount of time.
Yeah.
Not too much. Not too much for something too good to happen to where he comes back and it's awkward.
Tatum Brown, is that you?
Yeah, like,
you've been playing with this Tatum Brown thing for a little while now.
It's getting tricky. Bob.
Yeah, you've been every pod you bring a little bit of when Tatum comes back. I don't know what's gonna happen. By the way,
'Cause I've
they're
always-
saying he's coming back this year.
I'm a big Tatum guy, as you know. And
Yeah.
that stems from not just Duke, but I like him as a person. I don't even know him.
Yeah.
So I don't want to make this as if like he's a homie. I just like his character. He's gotten so much negativity his way, and he's never been boisterous about like any of his achievements. He's a multiple first team guy. He's the highest paid player in the world at one point. He's an NBA champion.
Deep playoff runs pretty much every single year. Since his
He's
rookie
won a
year.
gold medal.
Yeah.
But even that, they try to. You didn't play them. Like, goddamn, it's not his fault.
Yeah.
Like, if he would have played, they still would have won.
Right.
If Tatum wouldn't have played, it's not like if Tatum would have been out there, USA would have lost. What are you talking about? He just didn't play because they have so many guys that they chose other guys. It's just how it goes when you play for Team USA.
We're not gonna bench KD when Steph
and
and LeBron are out there.
And it was between, quite frankly, him, Devin, and Ant. And the problem with Tatum is he's a mix of both. He's a mix of both, but he doesn't do what each of them does at their best. You play Ant, he's an electrifying score now talent. Devin's very tactical score. Tatum's like a little bit of each. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, so it's tough. They needed that excitement scoring off the bench, and they needed someone to start to be around Kevin and them who could just be solid. Tatum's not really either of those guys. He's like the guy in the middle. But Tatum on his own team is just as good as both of them. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes the fit, that shit really matters, man. So Tatum's always gotten the hard shake, and he's always handled it the right way. With that being said, Jaylen Brown is having a year that I knew he was good. I mean, I know he's an all-star. He's a superstar. He's playing like a top 5 player in the NBA right now. It's every night.
Have you ever seen a guy in year 10 make a jump like that? Like that's just
Brother, it's every night.
Yeah.
If you watch him, he just cooks. He gets out his pan. He gets out his Pam spray. He lathers it up and he puts it on there, puts it on full blast. And he just cooks whatever's in front. It's every night he has 30.
Yeah, and like Kawhi came in hot against the Celtics, right? And he guarded Kawhi and then had 50, and I was just like, okay.
Nah, bro, like he was like, well, I'm going and shut this down real
Right,
quick.
right.
Because Kawhi had like 100 points in 2 games.
Yeah,
And then it goes into play Jalen. Jalen was like,
Yeah.
And Jalen guarded him.
yeah,
And then after the game, he's like, I'm the best 2-way player in the world. I like how he's talking his shit too. He's getting on his stream with all his weird glasses that he wears. He wears like a different pair of frames. And he'll get up there and just say stuff, but he's backing that shit up.
yeah.
Can't hate on it. He's doing salsa dances and shit.
It feels.
You see that? What the is this guy? Hey, listen, he's like, the speeches at MIT, drops 50,
has his own shoe,
has his own
brand,
has his own shoe. The shoe actually is hard.
Yeah.
Like the shoe actually looks tough.
Yeah.
Now
he's doing like the hair commercials. He's all over the place.
Now that hair people are after him.
Yeah.
Salsa dancing. Very talented young man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, when Tatum comes back, I think he might come back this year. That's what it sounds like. It's Jaylen Brown's team at least this year. When Tatum comes back from injury.
Yeah, it's got to be Jay Brown's team. Yeah, it's just how it's got to work.
I have a question for you. This year, it'll be either Austin Reaves or Jamal Murray's first time making the All-Star game. I don't know if both could make it. I'm like crunching the numbers. You got Ant and Devin and all these guys.
I'm worried for Jamal just
Who
for the
would you wanna
voting
see
sake
make
of
it?
Reaves having the name he has with the Laker brand. Voting wise, it's going to be tough. But I
Right,
thought
but the coaches do the bench.
But so the voting only matters for starters.
Yeah.
Correct. Then yeah, I think Jamal will probably get it. He's long overdue.
Yeah. That's who you'd rather see get it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's had so many dominant years. You just kind of want to see something fall for him a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's earned it. He's averaging a big time year.
We had, by the way, every pod I feel like we do maybe 5 minutes on the
Yearman and
draft.
German.
We do 5 minutes on like the college basketball players in the draft. Since our last conversation about Darren Peterson, he had another like 30 points, 30 minutes. He's just like, I don't know what he's doing.
I don't like it though.
Cam Boozer, though, we'll get to that. And Cam Boozer has this unbelievable game, this comeback against Louisville, and he's like 12 for 13 from the field every game. How do you rank the top three? Every pod I'm going to ask you, how are you ranking them right now on your big board? I know it's going to go by team need, but with AJ, who had another big game last night,
he had a play last night that
the windmill down the middle.
I don't understand it.
I can't believe I thought it wouldn't translate to the NBA. I'm embarrassed. Every pod I'm more embarrassed.
He did a drop step. He caught it on the wing like this, dropped it with one dribble, just put it out in front of him, and then windmill in traffic.
Yeah, I'm going to apologize every pod thinking that he
one
wasn't.
of his teammates is on the bench goes. It was just like,
wow. And our producer, Kashmir Jean, the producer goes, Kingston Flemings, please don't forget, because he's hooping too.
I do like Kingston Flemings.
Yeah, but then Caleb Wilson would be the fourth guy.
Shifty. He's very quick.
Yeah.
He's got a nice little game. Plays defense too. Electrifying player on both sides of the floor. I do like Mr. Flemings from Houston. Man, there's some good ones. I like Wilson from North Carolina.
Yeah.
His upside is crazy. How tall is he?
Is he 6'9", 6'10"? He's got to be.
He gives me like some of his dunks that he has gives me like KG, but he looks like Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
He had one where like dunked it over, and it just looks so much like an early high school Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm just like, holy shit. Like, you just saw Kevin Garnett at like 18, 19, you're like, the is that?
Yeah, I remember there was like a famous Timberwolves play where he like caught it off of the rebound and like from his like ankle
and like dunked it. And people were just like, he was just so talented at that point. I see that in Caleb.
Said, our producer said he's 6'10".
Yeah, he has very KG-esque in him.
By the way, not a lot of players get the KG. Like,
No.
we always give all these. I've compared players to everyone. Like, you know what I mean? We do it all the time. And no one gets the KG comparison.
The closest guy I've seen to Kevin in modern day was Pelicans, early Lakers, Anthony Davis. At one point when he was just hitting fadeaways over people, dunking on people, one dribble, drop step dunking, like, bro. Anthony Davis's last year in like New Orleans and first couple in LA was top 5 in the NBA, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just catching it. He gave Draymond 40 a game with the Pelicans. They lost because they didn't have a good team.
Right.
He absolutely wore Draymond out. Draymond trying to guard him. He was fadeaway, fadeaway, pump fake, dunk. The whole team was trying to guard him. He like willed them in that series to even make it competitive, but they couldn't do nothing with that Warriors team. But he was unbelievable. Yeah, that's the closest I've seen.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys don't have that game. Like that's.
There's like a level of like anger too, and like, you know what I mean, like effort that
physical.
Caleb
seems like a nice kid. He like listens to country music and he's always smiling. KG like spits and like throws things at people. The early KG was a menace. People love that about him though.
Yeah. Could you even rank that top? Like it's so tough though with like the Peterson, the Bansa,
AJ has made it clear now, like in terms of safety. You know, we talked about it being like tricky for a GM. Like you don't want to up in this draft and draft the wrong. You don't want to draft the Markelle Fultz of this draft. You know what I mean? Like AJ's the pass. He's the one guy that like if you had the number one pick, you draft AJ. No one can be mad at you for drafting AJ.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's the safest number one pick in this draft. I'm sorry. If you're talking about from day one, a guy who's going to average 20 a game or 18 a game, it's AJ DeBancha is right away going to come in the NBA and just get bro. There's no 3D. There's no there's no defensive 3 in the NBA. I don't know if you watch this shit every night. Knipple's out there cooking.
Yeah.
All right. So if you don't think AJ DeBancha is gonna come in the wide open NBA and just go out there, they're talking about comparing him to people comparing him to like LeVert. The a drop step last night and did a full length windmill in traffic. Right. It's nothing like LeVert. Okay, he's like a mix of Tracy McGrady and I don't know who the other guy is. He's good, man. Like that's the sure number 1 pick. I think number 2 and 3 and 4 is dependent on situation. If you're a team, I'm not saying the Thunder is going to get a pick, but say the Thunder got the 2nd pick in the draft, you draft Boozer,
right?
Because you put him next to Chet. If you're
like if you're the Pacers, you're going Peterson.
If Atlanta somehow say Atlanta got the 2nd pick of the draft
for the Pelicans,
yeah, I'm drafting one of these guards. I'm gonna draft one of these guards. I'm draft Peterson, or I'm drafting Flemings, or I'm drafting little buddy from Louisville, Mikal Brown. One of those guys. Yeah. I will say with Peterson and Mikal Brown, I got respect for both of them. Obviously, Mikal is a family friend. He played for my AU program. I got respect for him and his dad. This sitting out shit for me is getting like this new wave of college basketball is just getting old. And what's happening, and I said this last podcast, but I'm going to do it again because it didn't pop off on the internet. I don't think we clipped it out. Did we clip that clip out?
It hasn't come on yet.
Yeah, so that's why I'm going to do shit again since we didn't get it right the first time. This is what I want clipped out. With players making money now in college basketball, I'm all for it. All right? I'm with the evolution of the game. It's either you get with it or you get lost. That's how it works. All right? So I'm with the evolution of the game. With college players making money now, the power dynamic has changed for coaches. They don't have a lot of power in college. And with the transfer portal being now something you could just go to a different team and not have to sit out, what can a coach say to a high-level player that makes $1 million or $2 or $3 or $4 million? A kid who, if he doesn't feel like playing, ain't going to play because he's sore, because he's a brand now, because he makes millions, can't get hurt, can't risk the injury. Oh, I don't like the way this coach is handling me. I'm going to get traded. Not traded. I'm a transfer. I'm going to make way more in the transfer portal anyway. These guys go to the transfer portal and make millions. Some guys are in a good situation and just go to transfer just so they can make more money from a different team. Right. Some guys are like, yo, I actually like here. I'm playing really well. This is good for my development as a basketball player, which should be number 1, right? Nope. Now, when you sprinkle in money corrupts everything.
Have you heard about these guys going to the NFL draft too? They're like, would you want to get drafted by the Jets or Raiders? Or you go back to Oregon, go back to your college, make more money, and then go to the draft again when there's different teams that have the first pick too. That's what they're talking about now in the NFL draft.
This guy coming back to Baylor, like this shit's getting out of hand.
Yeah.
It's just getting out of hand. It's funky. It's not college anymore.
James Najee, yeah.
It's not college anymore. It's a business. It's almost like a junior NBA. These guys are transferring, guys making millions, leaving in good situations to go to a situation that probably ain't even good for him, but he'll get more money there, so he's just going to go. Now you got guys making $5-6 million a year, especially the incoming freshmen, who know they're going to be there for only 4 or 5 months to go to the NBA. We're talking about like the top of the top 15 guys, right?
Yeah. If
he has like a sore calf, a sore knee, a sore elbow, back spasms, I'm not playing tonight, coach. I'm out. I'm going to be a top pick and I'm a brand. I'm making millions. I need to chill out. I'm going to rest. Are you kidding me, bro? You're 18 years old, 19 years old. Unless it's something that can drastically get worse, like a torn muscle. You know, I understand the calf injury and the Achilles. I get all that. I saw Peterson have 30. Then he sits out, says he's done. Then the team comes back, so they bring him back in the game. Then he hits the game tying free throws. Got to give him credit. This isn't an attack on his basketball play.
Yeah, he's clearly good.
He's disgusting at basketball. Yeah. It's clear he doesn't belong in college. It's clear that he is what everyone says he is. I believe he's going to be a top pick. I don't like the sitting out, choosing when to play. It doesn't help your team. It hurts your team. It's not good for the university. I don't like the way it looks. I love Mikal Brown. I'm a big fan of his game. You know this. I'm a friend of his dad's.
You were one of the first people that said he should be a top 5 pick in this draft.
I said that before the year started. Right. Before college basketball started, when everyone thought I was crazy, they had him going late first round. I said Mikal Brown's a top 5 pick. Now he's around that area, top 10, whatever he is, top 5. And now people are like, oh, Mikal. I'm like, bro, I told y'all he's really that good. You got to play versus Duke. You have to play that game. You have to. You walked in there, right? You play. You were shooting before the game. He's playing next game. So He didn't drastically heal. That means you could have played through it.
You got to play against Duke. Remember Dennis Smith Jr.'s big game against Duke for North Carolina State? Like, it was like a legendary game.
You have to play those games.
Yeah.
You have to play those games, dog. You have to. I had shit going on with my body when I played Carolina. You got to play that game.
Thank God you did.
And you know what happened? I remember actually having some real shit going on. I had bone spurs on my ankle. My foot was f***ed when we played them again. And I was really like, my body wasn't even right. And we got smacked and I played terrible. And I knew I shouldn't have played. Guess what? I played. You play those games. Because I gave it to them in North Carolina. You got to give them the chance because they look back. I'm going to play through it tonight. I'm going to go at them. I'm going to try to give it to them again. They got us. Whooped us. But I took it like a man and you keep it pushing. You have to play. If I would have told Coach, I'm really trying to imagine. I like the audacity. I'm trying to imagine me telling Coach K, hey, I'm not playing Friday, but I'll be back Monday. He'd be like, pardon? He'd be like, I'm having back spasms. If I said, I'm having back spasms, I'm out tomorrow. But Sunday, I should be good to go. That motherfucker would have looked at me, bro, and started laughing. And be like, good one, Austin. I'll see you tomorrow. Bright and early. He'd be like, or if you don't want to play, that's fine. But you're not playing with us the rest of the year. I don't do that, bro. What? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That used to bench me sometimes if I wasn't acting right. He benched me versus Georgia Tech one time. I'm the top player in the country, bro. I'm leading the team in scoring as a freshman. This motherfucker benched me because he didn't like my practice habits the day before. I came into practice like 20 minutes early, but not an hour early. He was like, what the f***? You're not starting tomorrow. He just said it to me. I remember this shit. It was in practice in front of Spike Lee. He looked at me and goes, I don't like your attitude. You're feeling yourself too much. You're not starting tomorrow. Andre, you seem hungry. You want that starting spot, huh? In front of Spike and Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was rehabbing his neck. Remember he had the neck injury?
Yeah, of course.
He's rehabbing a Duke. So he's at like our practices and stuff. I remember feeling so embarrassed. And he woke up. I remember he was just trying to teach. He knew he had me for 1 year. And I was cocky as shit coming in from Warner Park. He was trying to teach me humility.
Yeah.
That's all. He's got 6 months. You got to be a little extreme. You got to push him. Tom Izzo, all the greats, they still do it. They push you. So Tom Izzo talked about this to my face when I called a Michigan State game last year. He said, I love college basketball, but coaching it now, the joy is different. He said, I can't even yell at a guy. I yelled at one of our freshmen the other day. I got a call from his parents saying if I do it again, he's transferring. I don't have any power. He could just transfer and not even have to sit out. He just leave. He don't get paid to do it.
Yeah.
What the f*** I'm going to do? The power's been taken. So I'm all for it, but goddamn.
Yeah. Coaches don't have that power like they did. That's why Billy Donovan got out of there probably too, right?
Yeah. Let me just go to the NBA where at least I get paid enough to deal with this shit.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the power in the NBA either, but at least like you have some. You know what I mean? Like as a coach, it's a prestige in the NBA being a head coach. There's only 1 or 2 guys on the team you don't have more power than.
Yeah.
The rest of the team, you got them. You got them right where you want them. There's only like 1 or 2 guys that make like 30, 35, 40 a year. And you're like, you just want to be their best friend. You're just like, it's the name of the game in the NBA. If you're a coach, get along with the best player. Job security. 101. If you don't do that, it's going to be a quick go for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm all for it, man. It's just, there's a cost and effect to it. So it's just, I see this and I'm like, man, Mikal, you got to go have 32 versus Duke. And I say this as a Duke guy. I'm hoping you lose, Mikal, but like, you got to play that game. And then I see De'Aaron Peterson, like, don't play the second half versus UCF. You had 23 the first half. So you just had 23. And now suddenly the second half, you can't play anymore. You just played. And then you started the second half, you hit a shot. Then you played the next game. So that means you weren't hurt. Like, it's not good. Because at the NBA, you're going to lose all. You're setting yourself up to go to the NBA. It's going to be different. But maybe it's not. Maybe this is translating to the NBA too. I was talking to Eric Gordon the other day, and Eric's like, AR, it's different even from when you retired 3 years ago. I said, what do you mean? He goes, bro, it's even more different now. This is what Eric Gordon told me. He said, the way the league's running now, bro, the way these young guys, the way this shit is, I'll just be like, obviously I don't play that much anymore, so I'll just be like, he goes, it's just different, man.
Yeah.
It's a different era, bro, of basketball. Like the NBA locker rooms that me and you grew up in, how we used to talk, get out. He goes, it's just, man, these kids got their head. It's just different, bro.
Man, even I told you I was listening to that Kevin Love podcast, and I was like, man, him being a vet for Utah is so important, right? And like how we always talk about how every team needs vets like that. Like, for example, when you were in the NBA and you'd go on the road as a rookie, would you go out to dinner when you were like on the road with team vets?
Had to.
I heard they're not doing that anymore, man.
Heard they're not doing it. They don't.
They don't.
I'll tell you that
Those
right now.
vets aren't taking you. Dude, it used to be a cool thing where you're like in a random city and you go to the steakhouse there, and the vet takes you out to eat and shows you the city. Like, that's not happening anymore on teams.
No. There's a few good teams in the NBA that have like really good chemistries and they like, do stuff.
Yeah.
Like I think Thunder, some other teams like they'll like
gotta do the Thunder.
They do like movie nights where they like rent out a theater and go see a movie before it comes out. They like screen it, shit. Like they do stuff like that all the time.
Chris Paul tried to do it. Sounds like with the Clippers, and they didn't
get
get
a whole like. Well, that's what's crazy. I said some teams. I didn't say all teams.
Yeah.
And that Clippers team, like how old those guys are. Like Kawhi Leonard's not going to a Halloween party.
Yeah.
It's not happening. When I was in the league, bro, if a vet was like, "Yo, we got a team dinner," you had to go. It wasn't even an option. And matter of fact, all the young guys had to go.
Yeah.
And it was a good way to bond and like talk and just build camaraderie and whatever.
What vet took you? I remember Courtney Lee said when he played for the Magic, he was a rookie. He's like, Tony Battie would take me out to the vet, like take him out, show him like, and you're a rookie, you're young, you don't know, it's cool to have like a vet showing you around. Who was the vet like took you out on the road?
Reaves Vasquez.
That's a great vet. That's a great vet to have.
Shout out to Gravis.
Yeah.
I saw him. Man, when did I say it? It wasn't too long ago. He just looked at me and goes,
he works for a team, right?
Yeah.
I think I saw him.
He
is
has
it Toronto?
This, he has this. I think it is Toronto.
I don't know why.
He has an infectious smile.
Yeah.
Crafty player and hell of a competitor, big shit talker.
Yeah.
Gravis was awesome. I love Gravis. Gravis was the first person that like took me out to dinners and stuff. My first strip club was with Gravis. My first time drinking alcohol in my life was the last game of the year for us. We played Dallas. It was our last game of the year. And Gravis was like, we're going out after. I was like, we had a awful season. We won like 17 games. We lost that game, of course, versus Dallas. And then after, he was like, yeah, we're going out, man. Fuck this. And he took me out. It was my first time I've ever had alcohol in my life. I remember just drinking. I was like, this shit is terrible. Then after 2 or 3, I was like, what is going on? First time. So he was cool, man. Showed me a lot of things. Taught me a lot of things. Just as a vet, just about, how the NBA works. And then playing wise, a player that really showed me the ropes, obviously, was Jamal Crawford. So those would probably be the 2 vets at different periods in my life where I like really learned a lot. So
yeah,
for sure.
That's a good place.
Well, listen, that's a good place to wrap up. We'll be back next week. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, The Off Card Podcast. Subscribe, please, and we'll see you next week. Everybody have a safe weekend. Me and Pausha are out.